Okay, we are back with another Reiki in the real world talk. Got on the same thing because it's the same day. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so this is cute. I haven't read over these topics in quite some time. So anyway, we're gonna try to discuss this. And that was another reason why I kind of like stopped writing because I need my articles to be peer scholarly reviewed. Like I need it to be in some I need my articles to be like on JSTOR or something like that. Like Galileo. Like cuz I really be dropping gems, but let's talk through this. Anyway, it says, "Why are we conditioned to invest energy in others and not ourselves?" So in the talk I did about leisure and wellness, I spoke about how there's no incentive to care for oneself. The incentive is in sacrificing yourself for another. It's it's a weird conditioning. I see it a lot. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics that I see it in, but one that comes to mind is the parenting dynamic, right? How we see parents give up their whole entire life in service of a mini human for the duration of 18 years. Plus, some parents, there are some really awesome parents out there who even after their kids are grown will, help them out and be there for them and be that sounding board. Okay, but for many of us it is pretty much we gonna hold it down for these 18 years and then figure it out, babes. Okay, I get it. The part that I don't get is this entitlement to your kids' success in a sense of, well, I would say success one thing. Maybe I understand some entitlement to the success if you held them down and allowing them to creatively express themselves in the way that was genuine, innate, and authentic to them and intrinsic to them. So if your kid came to you with a dream or an idea, something that has been placed on their heart for them to carry out, and you help them fulfill and see that vision through to fruition, all right, cool. We're going to make sure we hook you up, parental earth angel, because you did what you were supposed to do. But for these parents, feel how you want to feel. Okay. I'm pretty sure, like, there's no argument here. I just find it funny how some of these parents who like will, I need you to grow up and be this. I need you to grow up and be that. I need you to, woo de woo. And pretty much, if you do what we tell you to do, if you follow the path that we've set before you, regardless if you like it or not, regardless if it's your strong suit or not, we're gonna disown you otherwise. I just feel like that's kind of like a tit for tat. Like I had you, I gave up all this time and energy, to raise you. So this is the least you can do is go to school and be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, to fulfill me in my life. That's a very extractive quality that we have where it's like I'm only going to love you or I'm only going to pour into you if you can give me a piece of you. Like give me a piece of your fortune, give me a piece of your life, allow me to pull strings in your life, like allow me to have some sort of energetic connection to you that feeds me. So we get conditioned to feed others because that's where we find our worth. We find our worth in how helpful we can be. We find our worth in how likable we can be. We find our worth in how many friends we have, or how many communities we belong to, or how many people call our line. Um, And, as long as you're doing all of those things, as long as you are assuming the position as people pleaser, as um, energy supplier, you're good, right? Everybody loves you. You're fine. You're safe. So you think. You're safe, so you think, right? But then what happens when you decide, I'm gonna just pull back a little bit? I'm gonna, focus on me, or even if you decide, or even if you're like, I could use some support as well, and you tell people your needs. It's like you would have thought that you asked them for a ride to the airport at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, the way that people act when you decide that you're good, you're going to branch out and do something for yourself, or, if you ask for some help, or that might be out of the comfort zone of the people that you've been serving. And if you pull back as a result of that, because you can't do both, you can't just give and like expect your garden to grow. You've been neglecting your garden this whole entire time. You haven't had any time to cultivate your garden or pull weeds out, or any of those things, because you've been over tending everybody else's garden. You've been putting your boots and your gloves on, going to your neighbor's house, helping them pull out weeds, helping them mow the lawn, and then you look over at your neighbor and they on the porch having a sweet tea, using using you to bring their dreams through to fruition. We live in a with I hope I say this right. In Sanskrit is Shudra, which means couch potato or lazy. We live in a time where people they're trying to look for the path of least work, not even least resistance, right? Least resistance is surrendering to what is and using it to your advantage to get to where you want to go, right? The path, I guess, of least work is when you don't do, or when you put in minimal work and you're expecting like this grand outcome from no like sweat equity, no like upfront, nothing, no sacrifices. There was no sacrifices to attain your dream. All you did was sacrifice people. What I mean by that is all you did was use people. All you did was step on the next person's back. All you did was extract. All you did was manipulate people and make them feel like they had to do this for you. It's kind of like, I heard this I guess yeah, I heard this concept from someone in my community of weaponizing incompetency. You have some people that will act like, oh, I don't know, or I don't, you do it better, or I had no idea I was doing that. Oh, really? Show me how to do that again. What did you do? What was that thing you were saying that once? Like, always acting like they just don't have a clue. They're not dumb. They're playing you. Like, people who act like, oh, I don't get it, I'm so lost, or oh, or oh, I hate this, when you call somebody out on something and they're like, what do you mean? I meant what I just said. That's another thing when you catch people, like when they get caught up, like, nah, I peep what you've been doing. And also for givers out there, light workers, like, don't feel ashamed that you like gave, okay? But just be grateful for your level of discernment to know that you weren't doing this out of a place of naivety. You were doing this out of a place of pure kindness and love. And once you realize that it wasn't be reciprocated, or that they just had no understanding of what pure love and kindness actually feels like, you did the right thing by pulling away. You do not have to sacrifice yourself for others. You do not have to lay down on the sword for others. And honestly, you don't have to advocate for others. People, we all grown out here. If you're not, a senior or a child, put your big girl or big boy panties on and advocate for yourself. This whole thing of leaning on others who are bold enough to stand up for themselves and others is manipulative. Like, I am past the days, long gone are the days where I stand up for others uh who really could who really are comfortable in the situation that they're in, one, and two, who would not do it in return. Don't sacrifice yourself for these people. Okay, I know we've been conditioned to invest energy into others and not ourselves. We feel like we're going to get a kickback or um from the other person, and then we realize it doesn't get reciprocated. We also feel like there might be retaliation if we pull away, like all these fears that keep us in bondage with other people. When a healthy level of detachment, and it doesn't have to be a knockdown blowout. If you find yourself in one of these situations, it could just be a simple, I'm redirecting my attention over here. Just a shift in attention. It don't have to be, this big thing. Because another thing is, sometimes you don't even have to let people know that you're on to them or that you tired of pouring into them. Because, some people like to give and I've done it. I've done the speech too, but it falls on deaf ears. So you really got to show folks better than you can tell them. Like, you tell people you burnt out, you tell people you would like some more support, you tell people your dreams and aspirations, and maybe there is some level of understanding from that person, but ultimately they go back to doing the same old bullshit that you called them out for in the first place. Okay, at that moment, don't repeat yourself. Find the nearest exit. It's pointless. That's just my humble advice. You don't have to take it, okay? But in terms of why are we conditioned to invest energy in others and not ourselves, recap, it is something that has been drilled into our minds since childhood. We live for our parents. We live, for our lineages, all these things. Even if you're someone who's no contact with their family like I am, and you have like this obligation to spirit, this obligation to God, you know, now it's like you're living your ancestors' wildest dreams. It's just all this pressure to like show up for others in a way that ain't being reciprocated, honestly. Like, there are many times that I have to sit down, even with my spiritual guides, my spirit team, sit down with God and like have that spiritual conference of like, yeah, sure, I'm breaking generational curses, all the things, but at the end of the day, I need to see some tangible like things in my reality that says thank you. As much as I am grateful for, having breath in my lungs and the ability to still share my gifts, I feel like I have done the spirit realm a huge, service. I really have. Like, even when I think about my life and how it has been totally flipped on its head from what I was doing to where I am today, I have sacrificed a lot. And so I now, in this new energy that I am in, I invest a lot of energy into myself than I do others. I just do, because until I see is it's me time, it's my show, until I see folks energies galvanizing around me to be like, all right, we appreciate you, thank you, here's your hero cookie, here's your Lambo, um all the things. I'm in the fun house with y'all because I know that a lot of people think that, oh, if you're someone who does like light work or spiritual work, you shouldn't be, concerned about the material things. I don't want to be impoverished. I don't think that that should be my that's not a I didn't sign up to live a meager life. I'm working, you know what I'm saying? I'm working for spirit, so my life should be looking Lydiana. It really should. It should be filled. I mean, it is filled with the nicest things. 'Cause I know it's that it's that delicate balance, right? But let me get my shadow bag right quick. There are tons of things to be grateful for. There are tons of things to relish in my current reality. I am blessed beyond measure. I have come a long way. Excuse me. I am better than I was yesterday, better than I was last year, better than I was the year before. However, comma, okay, as a great prophet Zachary Campbell would say, however, comma, I want more. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to invest that energy to get more. But I can't invest that energy in others and think that I'm going to get more. That's not how that works. I can invest it in myself and anticipate seeing more in my reality. I can invest in myself and guarantee that I will see my life flower and bloom into the life of my dreams. But I can't invest this energy into somebody else and think that my garden is going to grow over here. So that's just a little word of advice. Take it or leave it. It's my humble opinion. Take it or leave it. Okay. All right.